you think this is going to be an RC video, I can instantly disappoint you and tell you that this might not be the video for you. Today's video I'm going to start a new project. In the past I haven't always done the RC thing for a living. In the past, when I lived in Holland, I moved to Norway. When I lived in Holland, I used to be a contractor slash carpenter. My dad absolutely taught me everything that I know, so thank you, Dad, for that. And today I'm not going to talk about the deck over here, which is brand new. Might be looking away from the lens a tiny bit. I got a new camera and it takes some getting used to. So I need to see what's actually in the viewer. But you can tell that I built a completely new deck around the house. We have not lived here too long, and I'm fortunate enough to have a wife who has two beautiful kids. So I'm kind of their bonus dad, and they're my very best friends. And I want to do something nice for them. I really like having them over, but since we have such a big plot over here and a lot of space, and Norway is such a beautiful country, I want to give them their own outside space as well. So I decided to build them a playhouse. And at first I wanted to make a tree house. We do not have a lot of suitable trees over here, but we do have this massive rock. I don't know if you can see it behind me, but beneath all the moss over here is actually a rocky surface, which I can't do anything with. So what I decided to do is put something on poles over here. Why did I show you the deck earlier? If you have a big project like a deck, it's way easier to order the wood that you need for an additional project, to just order it in one go. Ordering a large amount will make sure that you can hustle a tiny bit so you get some good pricing. So that makes it a bit more budget friendly, and yeah, you know what? This is what I'm going to start out with. I'm going to drill that in, space out the bottom, and get started. Bit of a drizzle going on, but well, you know, better a tiny drizzle than it being too hot to work. I made a tiny bit of progress. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see. I'm looking away from the camera lens again because I got no idea how this camera works yet. Well, there you have the progress so far. What I did is I measured a few shorter beams that will support a larger beam. Don't pay any attention to any of this, because that's just there temporarily to space it out, make everything completely level. On this beam over here will be a bit of a bigger beam. I installed it already over on this side. That way you get some good support. Doubled it up with another beam, and that way you get the right height to the gutter, what's going to be the gutter afterwards. Those metal parts that I showed you, I drilled those in the rock. It's about 20 centimeters of thread that's going on in those. I'm not sure if you'll be able to tell. There you got it. And I managed to sort of put everything square. Made a big triangle over here to square everything out. If you have one side of that triangle level, you can just measure it up afterwards, and you can kind of determine where your poles need to go. That's the pile of wood that I'm using for the tree house. That's not really a tree house, but like a playhouse. And this is my saw. This is a flip saw, a DeWalt flip saw. Use these for, I think, close to 15 years right now. My dad and I still call them het blauwe zaagje, which in Dutch translates the blue tiny saw, because the first generation of those used to be blue. After that they turned gray, and the company got taken over by a company called Elu, and right now they're yellow. They're DeWalt. Good product. The weather is not really clearing up. You can tell that I put in those two larger support beams. These are 20 centimeters high. On top of that I put a 15 centimeter high beam. I'm going to put some cross braces in there to make it all sturdy. I'm going to make a tiny platform on this end with like a balcony around it, and on the other end the balcony is going to continue around the whole side, and the section between the poles is going to be covered with a roof, and that's going to be indoors. It's one day later right now, and one step further in building the treehouse. That's not a treehouse, the playhouse. Put in some cross braces. I need to put in a few more, but those I'm going to show you because I'm going to slot them in under the largest, the 20 centimeter support beam. I put one in already, and yeah, let's turn the camera around. Again, I still need to get a bit used to this camera, so forgive me if it's not as smooth footage that you were hoping for. Over here you can see that this one is slotted in, this cross brace, and goes all the way to the bottom over there. Yeah, the cross braces from left to right are just attached to the beam. Made a tiny spacer between there to make sure I could attach the brace over here in the center of the support beam. So we just need to continue a bit further up, put those others in, and then after that I can remove these temporary supports, because then everything will be level, everything will be square, and I get a good foundation for the rest of the build. Well, in between the rain I managed to make a tiny bit of progress, so I don't know if you can tell, but the whole structure of the house is almost done. So I put in the framing of all the walls and started out with the roof. Had an old window laying around, which I used. It's a window from Holland. My dad brought it over when he was visiting us. So you can tell it used to be a sliding window, so the lower part, the sliding part, he used that one in the side. And then there is a top part which is usually fixed in the window frame, and I use that one over here above the door. It's really straightforward, just cut the lengths of your framing, slot everything in, make sure that it's level, and well, you're good to go. Closing in on being done with the framing, I extended the roof a tiny bit over the porch. Walk up a bit closer to show you. As you can tell, there's a few framing beams that still need to be put in. The porch over here is a lot smaller than it is on the other side, just because there's no need to extend it all the way on this end as well. Getting ready to put in the walls. The walls I'm going to cover with this 1x6 thumb boards. And I'm going to put them over each other like the old-fashioned way. But now you got the main construction standing. After that it's a matter of decorating. So I went ahead, put in all the railings, ended up having a tiny balcony over on the far end up here. And then we got the porch up there. I figured I would put in some scrap wood in the corners, just to give it a bit of a cuter feel. On top of the roof I put some planks. Those planks are mainly decorative. You don't really need them to waterproof it after you put on roof tiles. But I figured that it would be a good way to lighten up the place a tiny bit. It will also make sure that there's no insects coming in, and it will just give it a bit of a cleaner feel. On top of the roof I put a damp open, yeah, like a paper mesh. That one is going to be covered with one tiny beam on top, and on top of that is going to be the, well, I don't know the English word for it. We in Holland would call it panlatten, and that's the tiny beams that you hang the roof tiles from. I'll show you the roof tiles right now. I managed to scoop up a tiny set of old ones. Usually when people renovate their roofs they don't care too much about old roof tiles, so chances are that you will be able to find some of these yourselves, cheap or free. So I got these, they're very decorative, and they will keep the water out. well, there you got it. How to build a playhouse. It's all improv. Just go with the tools that you have. It doesn't have to be too complicated. I maybe went a bit overboard, but you know, that's with me having a background as a carpenter. Just have a look around, see what other people have laying around, roof tiles, stuff like that. You should be able to source that for a good price. And you know what? I really like it. The fact that the kids will play outside a bit more. I think it's important that they play outside, get creative, maybe read a book every once in a while, rather than sit inside and game all day. Take care. I hope you enjoyed watching this. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and see you around.